Part 35. The Black Technology Chat Group of the 10,000 Realms. Author, Huo Dong. Chapter 341. 341 chapter screen is gone. The 341 chapter screen is gone. Operational virtual projection. God, I have fallen in love with this mobile phone. On a live broadcast platform in the United States, American netizens saw it here and couldn't help but speak. Why is there such a powerful mobile phone in the world? Compared with it, the Apple, Samsung and LG we use are slag, some people feel. Is it out of the woods? Huaxia's science and technology is more developed than us. Is this really a mobile phone, not the kind of high science and technology that is not sold? Why didn't this phone sell in the US earlier? I just loved it. The domestic audience is even more ignited. Crazy screen. What 666, buy, and other words broke the comment area. The function that HXV-1 smart projection mobile phone is showing now is that they can't help but want to buy it. Gao Liguo, LG Group, Zhang Maomin did not go to the Red Letters press conference site, but has been paying attention to the live broadcast of the conference. From the appearance of the virtual character Red Dragonfly, he has some bad feelings until he sees it here. He is already shaking his head and sighing. Before the advanced virtual operation experience of Red Letter, the curved folding mobile phone that they released just appeared to become a pediatrics. Not to mention ordinary users, just to change to himself, I also want to try to experience such smart products. The surface is folded, just playing on the screen, the real mobile experience is not necessarily improved. And because of the immature surface folding technology, it has also led to some new problems. Recently, users have complained in feedback. Now that HXV-1 smart projection mobile phone of Red Letter appears, what kind of surface folding does the user care about? He can predict that in the near future, if smart products can't bring a virtual projection, it is estimated that they can't be sold. Red Letter, skill is better, Zhang Maomin's wrinkles are a bit deeper. In recent years, LG Group has been the leader of the times. He is already 70 years old, but still thinks he is full of vitality and leads the group. However, today, he feels the meaning of old. He has been unable to keep up with the pace of this young company. Suzhirong introduced some basic virtual projection operations, and said, the operation of virtual projection has more gameplay. We also hope that users can experience it themselves and create more creative gameplay. And our group is working hard to create more projection entertainment, such as virtual projection movies, games, etc. We are also working with some companies to develop new projection apps. After the introduction of the first smart product, the enthusiasm of the audience has been raised. There are already countless people asking, how is this phone sold? How much is it? Where and what is it for sale? However, Suzhirong sold a piece of it, not mentioning it, but began to introduce the second smart product launched at the conference. The staff handed Suzhirong something, and Suzhirong put it on his hand. Everyone can guess, what is this? Suzhirong held the white arm and showed it to the audience. On her wrist, wearing a soft band of metal texture, a bit like a decorative bracelet, also a bit like a watch, but no dial. What is this? The audience speculated. Is this a feminine ornament? An American journalist was speculated. Unlike, definitely an electronic product, maybe a smart bracelet. Smart bracelet, it's a bit like it. Maybe it's a smart watch, someone said. I think the belt is like a strap. Why is there no dial for smart watches? I think it is a smart bracelet. According to the nature of the company, most people think that Suzhirong is wearing a smart bracelet. The smart bracelet has always been in a very awkward position, with simple functions, less audience teaching, and too many cheap and inferior goods. Suzhirong said, I heard a lot of voices. Most of the audience thought that this is a smart bracelet. In fact, everyone guessed it. This is indeed a smart product, but not a smart bracelet, but a smart watch. Suzhirong finished, everyone is full of curiosity, smart watches? Smart watch without dial? Or the dial is not installed, is it customizable to install? Suzhirong's finger was placed on the strap, and the fingerprint was unlocked, and a fingerprint was projected from the strap. In the air, a virtual operation interface is formed. This is the first smart projection watch of our red letter. Everyone is not mistaken, it does not have a dial, because we completely removed the dial when designing, its dial is a virtual projection. This is the first smart product we try to physically screen. Don't look at its small size, his function is similar to that of the red letter smartphone because of the virtual projection interface and smart chip. We are operating in the 6G communication network allows smart watches to achieve all the basic functions that smart products have, and it is lighter than smartphones, easy to carry, not damaged, waterproof, leak-proof, and radiation resistant. The functions of smart projection watches and smart projection phones still have some differences, because we can't make two products with the same function. The projection range of smart projection watches is relatively smaller than that of mobile phones, adding pulse, heart rate test and other health function, not so much as a mobile smart device, but rather a private life assistant, a healthy type of smart product. This smartwatch has also attracted a lot of attention. Some insiders have even worried about it. As we all know, Apple is now a big one in the smartwatch market. Now Red Letter has launched a smart projection watch with no dial, which is equivalent to further suppressing Apple's market. And this kind of screen-off product, since it can be used on smartwatches, can also be used on smartphones. I believe that screenless smartphones, computers, TVs, etc. will soon come soon. Be sure to work with Red Letters to buy their virtual projection accessories and design our physical screenless products. Some guests have secretly sent messages to the company or the group behind them, and they have seen a revolution in smart products. Just like the camera, virtual projection accessories will become the necessary store optics for smart products. When the second smart product was introduced, the number of viewers at the Red Letter conference had already increased tenfold. All over the world, there are viewers watching the global conference of Red Letter. This is a feast of science and technology, the climax of the year. End of this chapter. The Black Technology Chat Group of the 10,000 Realms. Author, Huo Dong. Chapter 342. 342 The 342 Chapter of Times Square. The 342 Chapter of Times Square. The next step is Red Letter's last smart product. I think some fans of Red Letters have already guessed what it is, Suzhirong said. On the major live broadcast platforms, there are fans who brushed the screen, glass. On the live audience, there were fans like Zhao who shouted, "Smart glasses." Yes, it's smart glasses, Suzhirong said with a slight smile. When she spoke, a new smart glasses appeared on the red eyes next to her. Full of science and technology design, but this time, the smart glasses have two small bumps on the frame, which is the installation of the projection device, in addition to the micro-positioning sensor. Like the previous two smart products, the latest glass smart glasses also have virtual projection capabilities, but today I want to introduce not only this glasses, but a virtual one jointly developed by Red Letter and Red Letter Entertainment. Games are hidden in this smart glasses. The next conference is not here at home, but in New York Times Square, where we can watch the broadcast. The audience is confused. What is the situation? Is there a branch field for the launch of Red Letter? At the moment, New York Times Square. This world-famous square has become an iconic place name in the United States. Every day, visitors from all over the world walk around the square. Everyone knows that there is a publicity screen on New York Times Square, where the advertising fee is higher than the average monthly salary of an average American. Today, this promotional screen will become a past tense, because the new era of virtual projection will come. In the square, a group of people are waiting, Lu Zixin is also here. He stood in the crowd, dressed in a black suit, next to him, and some of the same young people. Have you started? My fans can't wait. Aside, a girl's voice came. Next to it, there is also a girl in a black suit, Su Xiaomeng. She has always been a lively and lovely dress style, and after changing into a suit, she still has some different temperament. The thin eyebrows are pulled, the little face is cold, like a cool female killer. Su Xiaomeng was very interested in some novel activities. She encountered such a thing as the Global News Conference of Red Letter. Of course, she couldn't help but heat up the hard bubble in Su Zhirong's ear and came to New York. Wait for the signal, you can wear glasses, Lu Zixin said, taking a pair of new Red Letter smart projection glasses from his pocket. In an instant, Lu Zixin's eyes turned into pure black, like tailor-made sunglasses. Suits, shoes, and sunglasses, coupled with a strong body, Lu Zixin's force seems to increase 10 times in a flash. Wow, brother-in-law, you are so cool, Su Xiaomeng reveals a small star in his eyes, admiring the saying. As soon as you are like this, the style has changed, Lu Zixin whispered. Oh, look at me, but I went to learn the performance class, Su Xiaomeng said, wearing sunglasses, and emoticon became cold, and instantly changed from a girl to a cold girl. Although the two dresses are very good, but passers-by just missed a little more than 2 eyes. Here people come and go, few people stop to stay. On the other side of Times Square, the marchers protesting against the Red Letter are still marching, but their numbers have not increased. Some people have begun to waver. Although they are resisting the Red Letter, they are also paying attention to the launch of the Red Letter. Cool, I didn't expect their things to be so bullish. What are we resisting? Someone took out the phone, saw the latest report, and then silently withdrew from the parade. Everyone continues, we must insist on boycotting. Isaac is still encouraging morale to his companions. At this moment, he suddenly saw a colorful cloud in the sky. Not only him, many people have noticed it. Because this cloud is too abnormal. It is not a normal cloud, but a projection of light and shadow. It comes from the direction of Times Square and has a huge area that everyone can see. What is that? Many people are curious to look at the colorful clouds. At the venue of the Red Letter Conference, the virtual projection is also broadcasting the scene of New York Times Square. When you see this cloud, the audience has already understood that this is also the virtual projection of Red Letter, but the projected area is a bit large, and the high-rise buildings are not blocked live. They don't know. For this reason, Red Letter has arranged projection equipment throughout the New York Times Square, plus the advertising costs of venue activities. The cost is not small. Ha ha ha, New York Times Square suddenly burst into laughter, which was released with amplifying equipment. The entire square can be heard clearly. The old man is coming. This sentence appeared in people's ears. Some Chinese people immediately lifted up with surprise and asked, Sun Wukong. I saw that the colorful clouds in the sky turned over and fell to a low altitude of less than 10 meters from the ground. One was driving a colorful cloud, wearing a dragon-winged golden crown, wearing a gold-plated lock, a silky step, and a red cloak. The Kishan Dashan appears in front of everyone. Scorpio, Grandpa, several Chinese people immediately stunned, and they saw Kishan Dashan in Times Square. They couldn't believe their eyes. No, this is not true, this is projection. Someone saw it. In the sun, the projection is still relatively easy to distinguish. After all, the light and shadow cannot represent the real thing. Too realistic, Sun Wukong, someone exclaimed. This projection is like a blast. Some people have picked up their mobile phones and they are shooting, even those Americans are no exception. Although many people don't know who Sun Wukong is, they still feel amazing. This is just the beginning. Another character has appeared, is the Iron Man known to the Americans. The red bloody armor flew from the sky and said, we have a Chinese friend here. Iron Man, this is what many Americans know, and they look at the sky with surprise. The third person appeared, and a red big truck suddenly opened to the square, ignoring the obstacles and rushing over. This is also a virtual projection, people have stopped and looked at it with surprise. I saw that the big truck stopped in front of Sun Wukong and Iron Man, and a Chinese transformation turned into Optimus Prime. The third virtual projection character appears. The Earth will eventually perish, another projection appeared, a huge alien. Red skin, rock-like muscles, some people recognized, it is the Tyranny, the big villain in the Marvel movie. On the hands of the tyrants, there are infinite gloves that symbolize the incomparably powerful power in the universe. With one hand, there are scenes in which tall buildings are smashed and the wind and clouds are discolored. These are all virtual projections. The entire Times Square seems to have stopped at this moment. All the pedestrians, the waiters in the store, are looking at their heads and watching the spectacle of this virtual projection. It's too magnificent. In reality, it's 100 times more exciting than a movie theater. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Black Technology Chat Group of the 10,000 Realms. Author, Huo Dong. Chapter 343. 343 Chapter 343 Chapter Reality and Virtual, 6 Finishes. Chapter 343 Chapter Reality and Virtual, 6 Finishes. Destroy the Earth, you can't promise the old grandson. Kishan Dashan jumped up and lifted the pinnacle of the sea, and he hit a squadron. I ate the old grandson. Iron Man and Optimus Prime also launched an attack, intertwined with light and shadow, like a movie blockbuster in reality. At the press conference, everyone looked at the broadcast screen, and felt that this way was very novel, while curious, red-letter smart glasses. When the tyrants used the power of infinite gloves to block the attack of 3 avatars, they finally saw the appearance of the red-letter smart glasses. I saw a cosboy wearing a ninja costume ran out. People familiar with anime know that his cos is Naruto, the 7th generation of Naruto. And he has a remarkable logo, wearing that brand new red-letter smart glasses. This person is a real person, not a projection. Yeah, Naruto loudly shouted, saw his smart glasses, became active, and projected a swirling image. Spiral pills, Naruto hit ninjutsu to the tyrant. This is, the audience has widened their eyes without exception. Using the projection of smart glasses to achieve the interaction between the second and third elements, the effect that can be produced in the game appears in reality. This is a step further in the virtual projection game before the red letter game, allowing players to experience the virtual projection game with their own experience. The appearance of Naruto is only the beginning. In the crowd, there are people wearing red letter smart projection glasses. This time, the swordsman wearing the ancient Chinese costume, I saw his finger empty, loudly shouted, "Swords come!" In the air, there have been thousands of sword shadows, all of which are revealed by his smart glasses with the already prepared projection equipment. "Hey," he ordered, and the sword shadow smashed to the tyrant. "Come and try my cannon." A big American man came out, his glasses projected a virtual laser cannon for him, and he made a squatting posture, which was a shot against the tyrant. The huge laser light seems to destroy everything, but in the face of the big villain, it is still not enough. No one cares about the outcome of this virtual game. What they see is a brand new virtual game built by smart glasses. A century of light and shadow. To shock, in the audience, one couldn't help but say that he is a German scientist. It is only a coincidence that the Red Letter Conference was held this time. Who knows that he has seen such a scene? Red Letter uses the projection technology to the extreme. With smart glasses, you can project. This game is so cool, an American audience shouted excitedly. I really want to experience it right away, I can't wait for a second. 2 hanging, Zhao excitedly trembled. I didn't expect that they have already done this. Smart projection phones, watches, glasses, I have to buy. Zhao, we have to buy it too. His American friends are also full of interest. This is the charm of science and technology. Kyoko looked at the broadcast picture deeply, and was very impressed. He hopes that Apple can make this, but now this is the launch of Red Letter. He also foresaw one thing. From today, Apple's position in the North American market will not be guaranteed. In front of such strength, those small marketing tools have become an obstacle. Red Letter Game, we took another trip, domestic. Tencent's Ning Xiaoying is also watching the broadcast picture. When I saw the scenes of Times Square, I only felt deeply admired, and they still have no foundation. In the virtual projection game, Red Letter took the device and the game to a new height. People around the world have seen this scene. The netizens of the island country are going to be excited to blow up. It's too burning. You can change your body when you wear glasses. Scorpio, I want to change my way. Can you summon up? Can you have a virtual girlfriend? When will it be available in our country? I can't think of this kind of game in my lifetime. Let me play, it's worth killing. American netizens, at this time no one has raised the topic of boycott, but they are applauding. Great, this kind of glasses is a gift from God. This is smart glasses. I finally know why our country wants to introduce their products. This is definitely their wise choice. I can't wait to play with them. Dry the tyrants, call Godzilla. In Times Square, those who are in a hurry are all watching this wonder. Even the pedestrians in the surrounding streets were surrounded. Fortunately, the Red Letter was prepared and contacted the police for security maintenance. There was such a big movement in Times Square, and the parade team was seen there. This is what we resisted. Why are we going to resist such awesome things? Someone asked. Isn't the internet saying that their products are rubbish? But what I saw is not the case at all. Damn, I was deceived by online comments. A marcher stunned himself to raise a sign. Isaac is also shocked to see these scenes. As long as wearing this smart glasses, it seems to have the superpower. In the world of light and shadow, you can incarnate Superman. This is how many people yearn for the situation, actually realized in smart products. He didn't have time to think too much, and he found that many people were separated from the parade. Tommy, what are you doing? Isaac lived alone. Is it seen? We have to resist this kind of thing. My brain is not in the water. The person named Tommy said, I am going to inquire now, where is this thing sold? Halfway through his words, his eyes suddenly lit up. Oh, the Matrix, it's my favorite hacker. He pointed to the square, the direction of Lu Zixin and Su Xiaomeng. Lu Zixin makes a forward posture, emits rays in the sunglasses, and shoots at the tyrant. And next to Su Xiaomeng, opened the copying ability, a black suit, black sunglasses. Su Xiaomeng appeared next to her, flying around the wall, and some still carrying guns, riding a projection motorcycle, killing the tyrant. Ah, I am going crazy, Tommy excitedly said, I want to participate in them, I must, this is the coolest glasses and games I have ever seen in my life. He said, he got rid of Isaac directly and said, Isaac, bye, I advise you not to march, be careful to be jealous. Isaac saw a friend who had agreed to march, leaving a face. The parade fell apart, except for some parade actors and staunch boycotts who had paid wages. Others saw these scenes and there was no mood to march. Instead, I am interested in checking what this is. Later, everyone is good night. End of this chapter. The Black Technology Chat Group of the 10,000 Realms. Author, Huo Dong. Chapter 344. 344 Chapter 344 Primary Semi-Sneak Device. Chapter 344 Primary Semi-Sneak Device. Boss, are we still marching? A black man asked, he received a salary of $100 and ran to join the crowd. At this time everyone is watching the crowds in Times Square, who is watching them marching. There was a crowd of people over there, and their protests here were ignored, and they were so extreme. Swim a fart, Isaac threw the banner into the trash can and rushed away. Wait, you haven't given money yet, a group of people chased the past and the parade disappeared into the crowd. On the other hand, players with smart glasses to fight the tyrants appear one by one, science and technology, magic, and magical special effects in the Times Square, let the road people dazzle, dizzying. Under the bombardment of various skills, the infinite gloves of the tyrants were smashed, and a few infinite gems broke into the void, turning into Changhong and disappearing. Those performers, turning off the projections, everything seems to have never happened, but people have stood still for a long time, and have not returned. Some curious and excited passers-by also took the performers to ask and take photos. Semi-sneak line virtual game, Luzixon also put away his glasses, thinking about the way the game was described in the group before him. This is a technique that combines special effects in the game with real-life scenes using smart projection glasses. Even without nerve induction, the effect is already very novel and interesting. If you want to do a little better, you need to add nerve sensing equipment to your glasses. Red Letter has not been involved in this field. Too interesting. Next to him, Su Xiaomeng said excitedly, "Sister, you said that we can fight in the streets, like street fighters." Of course, Luzixon nodded. But that kind of activity has to be organized in advance. Like this kind of street virtual game war, we must first face the problem of public security management, and then the game experience, the player's personal safety and so on. Su Xiaomeng didn't want so much. He put his hands on his chest and made a wave of movements. His mouth was shouted, "Live 6 stocks." Luzixon cooperated with the upright arm block, then rushed to Su Xiaomeng and made a shoulder-shoulder action. "Ah, brother, I am joking," Su Xiaomeng screamed for mercy, but the whole person had been lifted easily by Luzixon. Of course, he did not fall, but was on his shoulders. "Now I won a reward for my sister." Luzixon took Su Xiaomeng, who was dancing in the air, for a moment. At the press conference, after watching the smart glasses and virtual game performances in Times Square, the audience here will applaud. "It turned out to be a red letter," said one guest, "it's really amazing. They redefine smart products and virtual projection technology." A well-known American entrepreneur from an internet science and technology company wrote this in his personal social space. "I finally understand why the Federal Communications Commission had previously issued a ban on Red Letter, lifted the ban, and the Ministry of Commerce allowed Red Letter to enter the United States in a villa," the old man watching the conference through live broadcasts. He is a giant in the science and technology world and is now one of the famous capital crocodiles. "Dad, why is this?" one of his children asked. "If they are allowed to enter the US market, our US science and technology companies will face unprecedented competition, but if they are blocked, we will derail the frontier science and technology, causing more serious consequences." Old man said, "Time change, you remember, you can no longer be a small student of China's science and technology business." The press conference is coming to an end and Su Zhirong announces the price and sales channels for various products. The HXV-1 smart projection phone costs $200 more than the previous generation of red letter smartphones. Smart projection watches range in price from $500 to $3,000. Similarly, the price of smart projection glasses has risen by more than $200. In China, users can buy cheaper products. In the United States, the price is subject to a partial tax rate, so it is more expensive than the purchase of China. Some high-end versions of the product are more expensive than those of companies such as Samsung and Apple. Its function is completely worthy of this price, and you can buy a low-end version with tight hands, and the market price is similar. These smart products can be purchased under the channels of the three major telecom operators in the United States. In addition, they can be purchased on the official website of Red Letter, US, Amazon, eBay and other e-commerce platforms. In addition, the Red Letter Group is establishing the Red Letter International headquarters in the United States, and will also add the official flagship store of Red Letter. Huaxia users are more convenient, direct online ordering, physical store purchases are okay. The press conference has just ended, and the topic of the Red Letter Conference has become a hotspot on the internet. Not only on the internet, but also on the internet, such as China Internet, the United States, and the island countries, there are people discussing this matter. On the official website of Hongxin Huaxia, the HXV-1 mobile phone is just over 100,000 units in 1 hour. It can be said that China's sales have no need to worry. Red Letter this time to fight is the North American market, the world's largest intelligent product sales market. The sales model of American mobile phones is completely different from that in China. For example, now, even if the release of Red Letter is on the internet, on the official website of Hongxin, US, the scheduled amount of data for 5 minutes of China official website has not been reached. In the United States, most users consider the mobile phone brand, but also consider the carrier network compatibility issues. In fact, this problem has been solved by Red Letter. Now the three major operators in the United States can access the network of Red Letter, using the 6G network. There is no network problem. It's just that American users are not used to this way, so the market reaction is still unclear in a short time. The US media has also made various evaluations on this. A well-known investor asserted, Red Letter's products are indeed good, but the performance in the US market is not optimistic. Its high price, low brand trust, the reasons for the design style and the habits of American users are all obstacles to opening the US market. The North American mobile phone market is still dominated by companies such as Apple and Samsung. Like him, mainstream US media are trying to lower the valuation of Red Letter. This is also a means of public opinion. It is extremely reluctant behavior for Americans to let Red Letter enter the North American market. Naturally, it is necessary to press a Red Letter in other aspects. Not only that, but other mobile phone companies have also done activities to resist this market competition storm. Apple products launched rebate activities. Now buy Apple products, you can reduce the amount of a certain amount. Samsung's hot money to reduce the price, LG's curved folding phone provides free screen insurance, and so on. A few days after the conference, the scheduled volume of Red Letter products in China market soared, and the major foundries of Red Letter were working overtime in the day and night. In North America, the number of reservations for the official website of Red Letter, US, is very small, and the number of reservations on the operator's electronic mall is a little more. With the increase in the predetermined amount, the global release date of Red Letter products will also arrive. End of this chapter. The Black Technology Chat Group of the 10,000 Realms. Author, Huo Dong. Chapter 345. 345 Chapter 345 is US. Chapter 345 is US. In front of Huaxia's Red Letter franchise store, there were long queues in the night. In order to prevent competition, Red Letter had to arrange security to maintain order. In the United States, there is no official website of Red Letter, so if users want to buy a Red Letter mobile phone, in addition to the network channel, they must go to the operator's store to buy. This kind of thing has not happened in the United States overnight, but there are quite a few people who pay attention to the Red Letter intelligent projection equipment. In New York City, a Verizon Telecom store, where consumers can handle Verizon's communications and network services, as well as branded phones that work with Verizon Telecom. In the early years, such stores were very popular with consumers. Because big telecom operators will cooperate with mobile phone brands to produce contract machines. Consumers buy contract machines from operators, operate Chamber of Commerce to subsidize each mobile phone, and consumers can enjoy a lot of discounts, so telecom operators have mastered the share of 80% in the US mobile phone market. This phenomenon is changing and operators have cancelled this subsidy in recent years. First, because of the high expenditure and fierce competition, the second is the rise of online sales channels. Another important reason is the rise of Apple. Apple's profits to operators are lower than other mobile phones, but they have the largest market share, so us operators have to cancel subsidies and sell them at the original price. In the morning, the store staff open the door as usual. Usually in the morning, few customers come to the door, it should be a relatively free time of the day. However, today it is a little different. The store door has just opened, and there are already a few fashionable young people. "Hello, may I have anything to help you?" asked the staff at the store. "We want to see the latest phones," a fat man wearing a fat t-shirt said first. Early in the morning, the business came to the door, and the staff quickly introduced them. She took them to Apple's counter and said, "This is the latest Apple mobile phone. Young people like it. There are discounts for today's purchase." "No, we have to watch the latest one, that is the one that is very hot on the internet," someone said. "LG Surface folding mobile phone, it's really hot recently." "No, it's HXV-1 smart projection phone, is there? I didn't see it," the customer asked. "We are about to put it out," said another staff member, who was just about to open the door and they were preparing to put the goods in the counter. "Great, can you let us see first?" asked a few young people. "Of course, this is the experience machine." The staff handed them a HV-1 smart projection phone for them to experience. Soon, virtual projections and screens appeared in the store. "Scorpio, can really project, this is Red Dragonfly, so beautiful. You can also download virtual games. Virtual movie app, virtual projection social app. It's so cool, I must buy it. Brother, are you enough money? I can stage it." When they determined that the phone did have a function at the conference, the decision to withdraw the slightest hesitation was to be purchased. "Buy now, you can apply for our 6G package, covering the entire US, unlimited network traffic." The staff gave a few smiles to a few customers, and just opened the door today and sold a few orders. It was just too smooth. However, this is only the beginning, and soon there are customers entering the door. "Is there a mobile phone in China that is sold? Is that the one that can be virtual projected?" "Hey, you said, I bought a smart projection glasses when I have sold it now." "My dear, there is a virtual projection mobile phone sold today. My mobile phone is just broken, I am in the store." "What is the monthly interest rate for this 12-phase payment?" From the opening of the door, customers will be in a constant stream. In addition to the daily business, 80% of the customers are coming for the red letter virtual projection smartphone. Even if you don't buy it, you have to take the experience once, then you will be surprised and eager to get out of the store. It is estimated that it will not take long before they still will return to buy. Those who have no money for a short time, there are many choices for staging and loans. Americans' consumption philosophy is different from that of China. Overdraft consumption and eating food are commonplace for many people. In addition to Verizon Telecom, other telecom operators' stores also greet a group of customers with the same purpose. In the past, mobile phone updates, at most, the camera pixel is made higher, or replaced with the unlock function, a small modification of the screen and the like. But this time the HXV-1 smart projection phone adds a new virtual projection function directly to the mobile phone. Still operational type? There is only one in the market, there is no substitute. Anyone who wants to use and experience can only buy this phone. Not only that, some e-commerce platforms have found that the emergence of red letters smart products has actually led to a significant increase in the sales of e-commerce platform sales smartphones. As is known to all, although the United States has a large population, The place is also not small. Most of the population is concentrated in cities, and other areas are sparsely populated. The big telecom operators in the United States, although claim to cover the 90% of the United States, but in many areas, because of poor signal, users are the choice of local small operators, so that in the choice of mobile phones it will be different. Red letter is the perfect way to overcome this problem. Under the radiation range of the small satellite, the 6G communication network can be used in any area, and those users have another choice. With the 6G communication network and the new smart projection phone, this option is definitely more attractive than other products, so these people buy and use through the e-commerce platform. Every day, the data of all channels can be fed back to the Red Letter headquarters, and other companies can get the approximate sales situation through investigation. In the first few days, Apple's mobile phone sales remained the number one. But in the sales of the new mobile phone, the first day of the Red Letter rushed to the first. After a week, the situation changed again. On the internet, on the streets, in shopping malls, people who record or use virtual projections can be seen everywhere. Now that there is no virtual projection smart product to take to the streets, they feel more backward than others. American consumers began to pursue this Chinese brand that entered the US market for the first time. Grandma, can you see me? In an ordinary American family, an old man wearing reading glasses is communicating with his granddaughter in real time, and both images are recorded and sent to the other party. Can see, the old man excitedly said, it's really clear, baby, just like you are in front of me. She also kissed the virtual projection. Grandma, I am satisfied with this gift that I sent you. We can all chat through this in the future, asked the granddaughter. Too satisfied, I haven't read the news for a long time. I don't think the science and technology are so developed now. The old man was very emotional. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Black Technology Chat Group of the 10,000 Realms. Author, Huo Dong. Chapter 346. 346 Chapter to China Purchasing. Chapter 346 goes to China shopping. On Amazon's e-commerce platform, there are US users who want to purchase HXV-1 smart projection mobile phone through the network platform, but the computer interface shows, sorry, the goods you ordered are temporarily out of stock. Do you want to keep the web page waiting for notification? It's out of stock, I'm out of stock. One day later, in front of the computer, a user opened the customer service interface with a complaint. When is this HXV-1 available? He asked. Sir, I am sorry, this is our hot product. We will replenish the library as soon as possible, please be patient, the customer service replies. This is not the first customer to ask this question. I asked when is the goods available, do you know the specific time? Please be patient, we will replenish the library within 2 weeks, customer service replied. 2 weeks, hell. If you need this product, you can pay the purchase price. You can have the priority of the next batch of HXV-1 smart projection mobile phone, customer service suggested. A similar scenario occurred in various sales platforms in the United States. Soon, users in the United States found that not only online stores, but even operators' stores, the volume of goods was small. Some operators even took advantage of this opportunity to deliberately drive down supply as a marketing tool. Many American users are starting to complain, why is the supply so low? I heard that Red Letter is a priority for the Chinese market, which is not fair. They are marketing in hunger. If so, killing me will not buy a mobile phone from Red Letter, from the HXV-1 smart projection phone client. The HXV-1 smart projection phone on the internet is unofficial than the normal price of $100 or $200. I have to complain that our store here has to buy value-added services to get HXV-1. Red Letter was first sold in the United States, but there was a situation of short supply, which is unprecedented for any Chinese brand. Of course, there have been some vulnerability in sales management, which has caused Red Letter to be adjusting. Hong Kong Island, here is one of the gateways to China. At the door of a mobile phone brand store, less than a day, there have been long queues. Next to it, there are people holding signs to recruit people, people line up to buy mobile phones, have wages. If Hong Kong Islanders were used to it before. When the Apple mobile phone was released, because of the difference in the release time between the mainland and Hong Kong Island, there will be a large number of purchasing oxen lined up here to buy mobile phones, and then brought back to the mainland to buy high prices. But today, they are not waiting to buy Apple phones, and they are not ready to buy back to the mainland, but to buy back to the United States. The Americans went to Hong Kong Island to buy a Red Letter mobile phone, and the purchase went back. This scene is the first time Hong Kong Islanders see. Even attracted a lot of media, but also specifically reported this incident. Voice of Hong Kong Island, shocked, a large number of Americans are purchasing Hongxian mobile phones in Hong Kong and want to sell them back to China at a high price. Hong Kong Island News, today, the customs found a US gang suspected of smuggling a Red Letter mobile phone. It is reported that the smuggled mobile phone has been fully detained. These news have also been reported to the domestic, netizens simply laughed out. Hello me, the Americans actually smuggled our mobile phones. I really have a Red Letter mobile phone, my foreign uncle let me go to the mobile phone to give him a smart projection product with a Red Letter, saying that they sell hundreds of dollars more and there are people rushing to. Red Letter is the best, domestic priority supply is good. Hello everyone, I want to buy a Red Letter mobile phone to the United States, the current lack of funds of 300,000, interested partners please contact me. After waiting for a long time, I finally waited until today, can't buy something cool. It turns out that as long as you have money, everyone's approach is the same. In a few weeks, the sales of Red Letter products in the US market gradually became clear. In this month's new machine sales, our mobile phone sales in the US market have surpassed LG's curved folding mobile phones and Samsung, and the new machine sales rank second only to Apple mobile phones. Su Zhirong smiled. This transcript made her full of satisfaction and sense of accomplishment. According to the current growth trend, when we have sufficient stocks, it is only a matter of time before sales exceed Apple's mobile phones. Sales of smart projection glasses and smart projection watches have exceeded the expected pass line, and the momentum is very strong. The market gap has already opened. Lu Zixin squatted on the office chair and said with his eyes closed, "They are trying to close, it's too late." But the US has recently prepared to give us a problem and asked us to set up a factory in the US, Su Zhirong said. Looking at Red Letters making money in the US market, the US side certainly couldn't help it, using various policies and requiring Red Letter to establish a factory in the United States. The cost of building a factory in the United States is much higher than that of China or India, but this cannot be avoided. If you want to make money in the US and don't invest, American users will definitely reject the Red Letter, which is also an invisible investment. Building is to be built, but it can't be so easily agreed, and more preferential conditions are needed. The US Federal Communications Commission requires that, according to the anti-monopoly law, we must sell our virtual projection accessories to our partners as soon as possible, otherwise we will limit our sales. Su Zhirong passed a lot of documents to Lu Zixin. Lu Zixin swept away and said, "Selling, intellectual property must be protected, this is the weapon we will make in the future. No matter which country, only the Red Letter family will be allowed to sell virtual projection mobile phones, which is a violation of anti-monopoly law. However, Red Letter can use the virtual projection intelligent product accessories like selling chips to collect intellectual property fees, and can also obtain high profits. Let me be quiet." Apple's spaceship headquarters, the library can signal the assistant to go out. He lowered his forehead and held it with his hands. The thinning body was even more exhausted. Just the top executives opened the meeting on the latest sales data, and the investors kept asking questions, which made him a headache. Anyone with a discerning eye can see that the strong rise of red-letter products in the United States is no longer a threat to Apple's status, but is occupying the top spot in the Apple market. For a long while, the library dialed a phone call and said, "I am ready to talk about the virtual projection accessories." After the phone call, he sighed deeply. This decision will mean that the once powerful Apple company will also be subject to the red letter. Even if the cooperation is completed, it is a helpless choice for them. In the future, every time they sell an Apple mobile phone with a virtual projection, they will have to pay some profits to the red letter group. Just as they used the core technology to charge the high cost of Waxia Enterprises, now the role has been reversed, it will be their turn to be sheared. End of this chapter. The Black Technology Chat Group of the 10,000 Realms. Author, Huo Dong. Chapter 347. 347 Chapter 347 looks to the future. Chapter 347 looks to the future. United States, Northern California, Palo Alto. Lu Zixin and Suzhirong came here because of official business. They lived in the upper floors of an international hotel, overlooking the balcony and seeing the majestic buildings in the distance. The logos of famous companies are everywhere, and the world's top elites come and go here. Here is the world-famous electronics industry and computer industry kingdom, Silicon Valley. It is 9 o'clock in the Pacific time, night falls, but here is a glorious scene that never sleeps. The neon lights and the lights of the building will light up in the night sky. Lu Zixin stood on the balcony and looked out into the distance. In Silicon Valley, there are several world-class companies that can easily influence the world. Intel, Google, Facebook, Tesla, Nvidia, Oracle, these famous companies are gathered here, and at the same time, a large number of elite talents are gathered. At 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, we are going to talk to Qualcomm's headquarters, at 3 p.m., at the invitation of Google's president behind Lu Zixin, Suzhirong's voice sounded. She has just finished her work planning, and the recent affairs are really busy, and her voice reveals exhaustion. Lu Zixin turned around and saw the slightly thinner man walking slowly, taking her into her arms and looking at the scenery outside the balcony, whispering in her ear, "Tomorrow's things will be said tomorrow, rest well." Yes, Suzhirong gently snorted, leaning his head against his arm and looking at the bustling night scene in the distance. "What are you thinking?" Suzhirong asked suddenly. "I miss you," Lu Zixin blurted out. "You have lost a lot of weight recently, is it too tired?" "I don't believe it," Suzhirong tenderly snorted and said, "it's obviously thinking about the other, your eyes can be seen at a glance." Although she said so, she still had some joy in her eyes. "Well, I admit, I miss you more than half, and I am thinking about the future direction of the company." Lu Zixin bowed her head and kissed her forehead. Suzhirong simply leaned back against the railing, picked up the hair that was blown by the cool breeze, and stared at Lu Zixin with a pair of black and bright eyes. He asked, "What do you think? Now our company has already won China in the smartphone market, the island's smartphone market share ranks first, and Southeast Asia and Europe are also making progress, especially in the US market, sales are gratifying. As long as there is no accident, 1 year later, the red letter mobile phone may not be the highest selling mobile phone in the world, but it must be the most profitable company, replacing the status of the Apple mobile phone. It is not easy to maintain it now. The US has begun to adopt various policies to squeeze our profits. Other companies are also under pressure from us to start cooperation." Yeah, Lu Zixin nodded and said, "The bigger the company is, the harder it is to maintain it, but I don't think about it. There is a leading smart projection phone. Red letter electronics will not be big in 3 or 5 years. Problem." "What are you thinking about?" Suzhirong said curiously. "Of course it's a follow-up development." Lu Zixin's eyes revealed a ray of ambition, which made Suzhirong slightly stunned and looked at him with ecstasy. "Do you want to be a global virtual entertainment?" Suzhirong speculated, when our smart product users expand, or other smart products bring virtual projection capabilities, do virtual movies, virtual idols, virtual games, virtual social. Also, the potential in this area may be higher than our electronic products, she said to herself. Somehow, a sudden resentment suddenly appeared in her tone. Because of the virtual mutual entertainment, she remembered Shui Yao. The success of the first virtual projection movie has already brought Red Letter Virtual Entertainment to the right track. The sale of the Red Letter smart projection equipment is to let the Red Letter Virtual Entertainment enter thousands of households. In each of Hongxin's intelligent projection devices, there is an avatar Red, which is the first virtual idol that Red Letter Virtual Entertainment is preparing to launch. Now it has a certain popularity. In addition to this, there is projection social software. Log into the Red Letter account. You can use this software for social activities, add friends, friends circle. The most important thing is to directly perform virtual projection live broadcast and small video interaction. There are also Red Letter games that cannot be ignored, and they are also planned to be included in the system of Red Letter Virtual Entertainment. Including the most popular entertainment methods on the internet, plus the majority of users of Red Letter smart products, it is expected that this company will become an internet giant in the near future. Domestic companies such as Tencent and Carry have rushed to announce similar virtual social features. If the Red Letter Virtual Entertainment is developed, it may be more profitable than Red Letter Electronics itself. There is a similar data to compare. The Tencent Group's profit last year is that Hua is twice as high as the group, and the profit growth ratio is even more exaggerated, which is the potential of the entertainment industry. In that way, Shui Yao's position in the company seems to be more and more important. No, I don't think about virtual entertainment, Lu Zixin denied her guess and said with a wry smile, to be honest, in the entertainment operation, I am a little white. How can the subsidiary develop? I can see the subsidiary's own operations. Hey, did someone go to help make a movie a few months ago? Suzhirong squinted and shouted. Isn't that because the technology is not mature? Lu Zixin explained quickly. The two were silent for a while. Lu Zixin broke the shackles and pointed to the front and said, "Look, a large piece here is the Silicon Valley Science and Technology Park. There are world-class electronics and computer science and technology. How many science and technology that have changed human life, how many world-class rich people have been born, every year from the world, how many dreamers and scientists come here to pursue dreams. California has the Silicon Valley and can surpass France to become the 6th largest economy in the world. In the future, I will build a place like this. It has the world's top and most cutting-edge science and technology, with the world's top companies, the richest man, the most promising and opportunity location. When we build it in China, China can become the world's #1 economy. Looking at us to build a Silicon Valley in China, Suzhirong smashed his eyes and gave a horrified look. Silicon Valley represents not a company, but a world-class city of science and technology. Now that the Red Letter Group has entered Silicon Valley, it is just one of many giants. No, not the Silicon Valley of China. Silicon Valley is the United States. I want to build one, the future of science and technology, the city of science and technology all over the world. Lu Zixin said the sentence, suddenly feeling open-minded, God refreshing. People who have no goals, living like a beggar, he. The development of the Red Letter Group to the present, making money for Lu Zixin, has long been less attractive than before. If you take out all his wealth, it is definitely one of the top richest people in the world. But these things have no meaning for him. With so much wealth, is it like the Middle Eastern royal family? Even the toilets are replaced with gold and diamonds. Thinking of Lu Zixin, he might be more interested in a toilet with a high science and technology. The future of science and technology, the city of science and technology in the world. Suzhirong repeats his words, and the heart is full of turbulence. She knows the character of Lu Zixin. This sentence is not about playing, maybe the future world will change accordingly. End of this chapter. The Black Technology Chat Group of the 10,000 Realms. Author, Huo Dong. Chapter 348. 348 Chapter Grievances. Chapter 348 Grievances. Yes, Luzixin said excitedly. The mobile phone is just the beginning. Smartwatches and glasses are just a part of the electronics industry. There is still a gap here that blocks our pace. Let's not do the best intelligent. Suzhirong looks down his fingers. That is the logo of Intel, Intel Integrated Electronics. Responding to Intel, AMD Supermicro Semiconductor and NVIDIA. These are the big companies that hold monopoly technology in the computer and semiconductor industries. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. In these respects, China's technology has a huge gap with them. Together with these big companies, they have established a huge technical barrier to consolidate their position. If Red Letter wants to develop artificial intelligence and cloud data technology, it needs a more powerful computer. The core processor of the computer is the key to the improvement of computer performance, Luzixin said. So the next battlefield of Red Letter is the computer industry. This is what Luzixin thought about 2 years ago, but at the time he encountered too many obstacles, so he chose the relatively simple mobile phone industry. Now Red Letter has enough capital to develop computer accessories, computer processors, to break down the industry barriers that these companies such as Intel have spent decades building. This is really a gap, Suzhirong whispered. Not only Luzixin thought about it, but Huaxia Enterprises thought about it, and even the state paid for it to help companies develop. In recent years, I have also spurred some Chinese computer chips or other technologies. But what about the facts? The truth is that more than a decade has passed, and so far, users around the world are still using these science and technology products. Huaxia's so-called independent products can't be taken at all, and users don't recognize it. And many of the core technology patents still belong to companies such as Intel. Some people call it a bottomless pit, meaning that even if they invest in tens of billions of dollars, they can't splash a splash. The most expensive thing in the world, there is absolutely research. Because other goods, no matter how precious, have a price. And with important research investment, you never know how much it costs. Even tens of billions of dollars of investment have cost nothing for decades. No matter what you want to do, I support you, Suzhirong said firmly. Haha, you are the second woman in the world who knows me so, Luzixin said with a smile. Who is the first one? Suzhirong Lumei straightened, with a murderous tone. It's my mom, Luzixin laughed. Hate, play me, Suzhirong hammered his chest. I really love you, Luzixin took her face and tasted it. Into the house, curtains. Wait, I want to take a shower. I'll help you. In the next few weeks, Luzixin stayed in the United States, planning to build a Red Letter US headquarters while handling various matters. In the United States to establish the Red Letter International Building, but also to establish an electronic manufacturing factory. It seems that the computer chip can only be delayed for another 2 months. Luzixin looked at the company's financial report, calculated in his heart. Computer chips are also a hassle. From design to production, not only technical patents, but also high-precision production equipment, operation of system, etc. These things Luzixin feels that they are also looking for support. He was thinking about the message coming from 10,000 Realms Science and Technology Chat Group. It was the news of Optimus Prime. He rarely spoke on his own initiative and said, "Man, I may have a little trouble." Red Queen, emoticon, I bet 5 cents, it must be a big problem. Peter Parker, what happened? Did the Decepticons fight with your car people? I really want to help in the past, but you know, we are not in a universe, but I can help with suggestions. He said a bunch. Red Queen directly emoticon, block your mouth with stinky socks. Optimus Prime, you guessed it, there was a battle, and both were hurt. My state is a bit bad. He made a selfie in the group. In a city ruin, there was a broken big truck. The car body has been broken by some kind of powerful attack, although the front of the car is complete, but it is also scarred. Peter Parker, oh, this is too simple. Optimus Prime is awkward. Are you still okay? Do you have any wishes that are not completed? We will definitely help. Skynet, idiot, it is not dead yet, there is no need to say anything. Optimus continued, my body damage has reached 90% or more, and the energy surplus is 3%. The life core has also suffered some damage and is about to enter the dormant self-healing state. As you can see, this is not a good place to sleep. If I go to sleep and be found by the Decepticons or the humans in the 7th district, I will probably say goodbye to you. Red Queen, don't worry, we can help you find a way, so I will send you a small biochemical army to cover you away. Luzixon quickly stopped, don't, the Earth has been a lot of disasters, and then biochemical virus, people have to die. Red Queen, emoticon, grievances of eating hands. This emoticon, her picture is not an ordinary cartoon image, but a dynamic picture of the zombie eating arm. Mr. L, is the grievance of the people who have been eaten. Okay, hurry and say good things. Mr. L, my stuff here might give you some help. He sent the random red envelope that he had previously sent to Optimus Prime. A reminder came from the group, Optimus Prime has received your exclusive red envelope and won the Heart of Ancient Machinery. The Heart of Ancient Machinery, Luzixon himself is very curious about what it is. According to the experience of random red envelope in the past, he found that the baby in the random red envelope is actually from the 10,000 realms, which is mysterious and powerful. In the universe where Optimus Prime is located, among the ruins, there is a heart made up of machinery. It is still beating, and there is a blue energy liquid flowing inside, which is powerful and powerful. This is, Optimus Prime's emotions fluctuated wildly. He said excitedly in the group, it's actually it when the planet Cybertron was not destroyed, I saw it in the planetary database. This is the ancient times, the body structure of the first generation of Cybertron planet, it is far stronger than we are now. The first generation of Cybertrons received stronger firepower than the current Cybertrons, so the evolution of the body structure was also stronger. The heart of this ancient machine is the core of life from the first generation of Cybertrons. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Black Technology Chat Group of the 10,000 Realms. Author, Huo Dong. Chapter 349. 349 Chapter 349 Chapter 100. Chapter 349 Chapter 100. Good luck, Luzixon congratulated. Optimus Prime couldn't help but want to change himself to a core of life. He took the heart of ancient machinery out of the group space and turned it into anthropomorphic form. At present, Optimus Prime has only half of his body, and his chest collapses into a large piece, and the blue energy liquid is still leaking. Get started, Optimus Prime bit his metal teeth, opened his chest, and put the heart of ancient machinery into it. This beating mechanical heart is like having life, and he has settled in his chest. The original life core of Optimus Prime is directly accommodated by the heart of ancient machinery and disappears. Instead, it is a strong mechanical heart. A powerful energy emerges from the heart of the machine to repair the damaged body. This feeling, Optimus Prime said, it's like facing a fire. I need energy, I need metal particles. Skynet, I have, the latest liquid memory metal particles, and energy blocks. It sends the item to Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime opens the group space, a large amount of silver-white liquid metal particles slide down, into its body, and some super concentrated energy blocks. Optimus Prime's broken bottom of the body began to create a new body. The liquid memory metal particles form a mechanical part, and a brand new, Silver-white Optimus Prime begins to be generated. Strong feeling, I am born again, Optimus Prime excitedly said, this is an unprecedented feeling, I have never been so powerful. Congratulations, everyone congratulated. Optimus Prime also thanked him and said, everyone, and does not thank you. Now I have to hurry to the moon. If you are lucky, maybe I can bring you some gifts back. Peter Parker said curiously, what's on the moon? Optimus Prime, a spaceship from the planet of Cybertron, is a spaceship for the modern leader of the automaker. It may contain the manufacturing method of the energy column. I must dare to get it before the Decepticons. Skynet immediately said, I want the energy column. If there is such a high-density energy manufacturing method, my robotic army will be stronger. The energy column that Optimus Prime said is an energy storage device for Cybertron. The energy of the energy column can provide spacecraft flight. Even energy column combination can open the wormhole and realize space jump. Optimus Prime promised, good, as soon as I get it, I will send you a copy. When he finished, he showed the line. Peter Parker, it's so cool to fly to the moon, if my battle suit can fly in the universe. Red Queen, no, you can do it by changing the genes. I can turn you into a space creature. Do you want to try it? Red Queen, evil emoticon, hey, take a shot, it doesn't hurt at all. Peter Parker, the emoticon of the mercy, Red Queen is pleading, I am still a child. Mr. L, emoticon, he is just a child, don't let him go. Red Queen, I decided to listen to the owner. The little spider reluctantly said, Inhuman, the group leader, and Red Queen smashed the group. Skynet, you are really bored, saying, it went offline first, and it is estimated that you can't understand these meaningless chats. Mr. L, Tianwang will not be able to play the game, or Red Queen is fun. Red Queen, is it fun? Emoticon, the owner, you irritated me, I will swallow you with a 100th level corpse. In the picture, it is a huge zombie. When I was in the Luxixin waters, I sent a few popular emoticon bags and I was immediately used by Red Queen. Mr. L, emoticon, what is the 100th level corpse? I have the skeleton of 99 level 9, swallow the corpse. Peter Parker, I have a bad feeling, you started to fight. On the map, Red Queen was not outdone, and immediately sent a new emoticon, which is a one-stop picture, emoticon, biochemical weapon research mistakes, accidentally creating a natural dragon, specializing in bones. Mr. L, emoticon, accidentally captured Taekukan Jack, what is the Taoist dragon, what a bit. Red Queen, emoticon, too old and fierce beast is strong, feeding the Lord is a slap in the face. Mr. L, emoticon, the top of the food chain, the demon god, the feeding lord can only be his younger brother. Red Queen, emoticon, I have ancient gods, Fuxi, suppress all enemies. Luxixin couldn't help it and said, so far, you can't fit your emoticon bag in the next universe. Red Queen, win again. Emoticon, how invincible is invincible? The little spider spoke, I don't dare to talk at the low end of the food chain. Red Queen, emoticon, swallow you. After spending more than a month in the United States, Luxixin handled the major event almost, and Suzhirong stayed in the United States for the time being. Not long after Luxixin returned to China, the Red Letter Group broke the latest news. The Red Letter Group plans to develop computer chips and related equipment to establish its own core technology. The company is also preparing for it. In the Red Letter Electronic Optoelectronics Research Center, Luxixin convened some of the key members of the research center to meet and discuss. In the field of civil computer chips, almost all core technologies are monopolized by foreign countries. Although we have the research and development basis of mobile phone chips, we want to make computer chips that can compete with Intel, AMD, and other companies. Liang Ke, the oldest photonics professor at the company, is shaking his head, and he has no confidence in it. From equipment to technology, We have a gap in every aspect, another senior researcher said. Unless we can get help from some foreign companies, we can rely on our own groping. I don't know how long it will take results. It's impossible. For more than 10 years, Dai Liang directly denied that it is that we have to pay more, and people can't help us. We have been developing our own China core for many years today. How many companies, research centers, and Huaxia Academy have failed to come up with a product that can be recognized by the market? These Luzixan also know that there are some computer chip manufacturers in China who claim to have independently developed the chips of China's independent technology. In fact, the core is still copying other people's technology, and the performance is poor, and there is no market competitiveness at all. More often, through the state's independent research and development of the semiconductor industry, the purchase of land claims to invest in semiconductors. The local land has been batched, and the project immediately turned into real estate development. As for semiconductor research, it's just a bitch. A lot of chaos has led to the computer field, and the foreign industry barriers have not been broken for decades. End of this chapter. The Black Technology Chat Group of the 10,000 Realms. Author, Huo Dong. Chapter 350. 350 Chapter Price Lithography Machine. Chapter 350 Sky Price Lithography Machine. The question we are discussing today, is not to do it Luzixan tapped the table and stressed, it must be done. What we want to study is, how is it done, how and how much, funds, what equipment is needed, and the overall research direction. As soon as he spoke, the controversy of the people ended here and he turned to meditate. Luzixan gave them a big problem, and no one can make it. After discussing it for more than a week, they finally came up with a plan. Based on the team of the original Red Core mobile phone chip, a new R&D team will be formed to attract domestic and foreign talents. The laboratory should also be expanded, and the units invested in capital are all billions. However, the plan of thinking is always different from the actual situation. This project has just begun, and they have encountered difficulties. What? This lithography machine dares to cost $100 million, Luzixan shouted in the office. In front of him, the director of the research center said helplessly, "Octopus, it is good to buy this. We contact the mechanical equipment manufacturers in the United States, they buy. The price is also $1 to $100 million, the performance is better than no equipment on the Netherlands. It costs $100 million to buy the most advanced products. Luzixan is a disgrace to monopolize the core technology. Internationally, we know that China is not capable of manufacturing high-precision computer chips, so the price of high-precision equipment is high. What is the concept of $100 million? This money can buy a large Boeing airliner. This is simply stealing money. When I first asked Red Queen for some equipment, Redmail's mobile phone chips could not be created. Just by cost, you can scare people. This is just one of them. We still need these equipment, more than 100 important technology licenses. The director of the procurement office listed them one by one. If you invest in a semiconductor industry, it may be a big deal to invest more than $1 billion. But Luzixan's requirements are world-class research results, comparable to Intel, AMD, and other companies. Therefore, all conditions must be in accordance with the highest requirements: lack of equipment, lack of technology patents, lack of talent, lack of laboratories. The initial calculation, you have to go nearly 10 billion. Red Letter invested in the establishment of Red Letter's headquarters and Red Letter's US factories, as well as a large number of virtual projection equipment manufacturing. Huaxia, Modu, Azamel, ASMA, Company Huaxia branch. This is a German chip manufacturing supplier and currently the world's largest chip manufacturing supplier, accounting for about 80% of the world market share. Luzixan, Dai Liangke, the procurement director of the Hongxin Optoelectronics Research Center, and several accompanying people came here. They are going to talk about buying equipment such as high-end lithography machines from ASMA. Warmly welcome, Mr. Liu. I am very happy to meet you. We are also happy to cooperate with Red Letter in the reception room. Fred, the head of the ASMA Huaxia division, met Liu Zixin. Fred is tall, white skin, natural brown hair, twice as old as Liu Zixin, with a warm smile and a Chinese language with a demon accent. I am also very happy to meet you. We are here, I think your company already knows it, Liu Zixin said. We are not very satisfied with the samples of the lithography machine that your company provided us last time. The few samples I provided last time, Fred asked his secretary, and the secretary quickly handed the document to him. He browsed it and said seriously, Octopus, these samples are carefully chosen by us. What do you mean by dissatisfaction? Performance, price, and some of the accessories we asked for are not complete, Liu Zixin said. Naturally there is an assistant to hand over the information. After a simple conversation, Fred waved, Octopus, I don't think there is a problem. With regard to performance, we have provided you with the world's top lithography equipment. You may not know, just a few days ago, we sold it to several countries in your country. Liu Zixin didn't talk. He knew that ASMA must have more advanced lithography equipment, but he didn't intend to sell it to them. As a result, their companies have always used equipment that is lower than others to produce products that are naturally not as good as foreign companies. Mr. Frederd, these models, we think the price is higher than the world's normal price 50%, Red Letter staff listed the data. Fred is still with a smile, no, this is our latest immersion lithography machine, which has been improved on the previous generation of lithography machines to produce integrated circuits with key dimensions lower than 38 nanometers. This has reached the first-class production process in China. Red Letter is a very powerful electronic science and technology company. If you can produce chips with such precision, I think that in the world, Red Letter products are highly competitive. Liu Zixin naturally wouldn't agree. The two sides talked for a long time. Fred said, if you insist on our latest models, I need to report to headquarters to make decisions. Then please ask Mr. Fred to report to headquarters, Liu Zixin said simply. The previous samples, we don't want to. In the office, Fred and ASML headquarters executives held a virtual projection meeting to discuss. Gentlemen, the Red Letter Group rejected our previous samples and they must have the most advanced lithography equipment, Fred said. Can't give them, some people immediately objected. Red Letter Group has broken our monopoly on mobile phone chips, and computer chips must not let them succeed again. I agree the top equipment is banned from exporting to China. Fred, you have to find a way to make this business. The Red Letter Group is now the hottest electronics manufacturer in China. If they buy our equipment, our Huaxia market can double its turnover. But their attitude is very determined. The core executives of ASMA have negotiated and finally come up with a plan. Provided to the Red Letter Group a new version of lithography equipment, but the price will rise, asking for $350 million. Other equipment, the same reason. Octopus, this is the latest sample of the procurement provided by ASMA. The assistant handed the information to Liu Zixin. They are willing to provide better equipment, but the price has also increased a lot. Daily, is the research center analyzed? What are the performance of these devices? Liu Zixin asked. Analysis has been made. These are indeed the most sophisticated lithography equipments in China. Other companies should not have bought them. Compared with the top international standards, there are still more than 5 years. Hard to write, 6 more extended, my fault. End of this chapter.